till now we discussed about how to create a database and how to manage the database and how to take the backups and all. So those are comes under part 1 and part 2. So this is the one of the part in Oracle administration. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Performance tuning is the part who can able to work is who are strong on part 1 and part 2. They can only able to work on performance tuning.
Okay.
Okay. So before working on this performance tuning task, and then we need to understand how we are creating database and how we are managing database and all. Okay. So who tunes the database? Like there are different people who can tune the our database. So one is application designers. So application designers comes into the picture like whenever you are designing the application, like in the initial stage itself, you need to understand what is the application requirement. So how much data they are going to store, and whether they are storing any blob type of data or what type of column they want to use. So whether they want to store any XML information or any like documents they want to store. So these things we need to ask, and we need to design the database.
Okay.
Okay. Second one is application developers. Suppose we design the applications and our developers they are changing the they are changing the code and all. So for single code, if they are creating one table like that, so it will impact the performance of the database. So before designing any database tables are like that, we need to think of application and then we need to write the code.
Okay.
And also whenever they are writing the queries, they need to understand like this is not the complex query, this is a good query. Like that, they need to check with the database administrators.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So third one is database administrators. So we are the people who is managing the databases and who is managing the performance of the database. Okay.
Yes.
So what is the administration task in performance tuning? Like as a DBA, he daily used to check all the top 10 queries that are running in the database. So whether it is 4 hours interval or whether it is 1 day interval. So we need to check all the top 10 queries based on the elapsed time, CPU and all. Okay.
Okay.
So if any complex query is running more than 10 minutes or more than 20 minutes like that, we need to check the query and we need to think like what we can do, and we can sit with the developers and we can do the queries.
Okay.
So this is the administrator task, like taking care of P file and all. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And system administrator. What system administrator will do here? Like system administrator task is like you need to check the CPUs that are managed by a database. Like for this database, how many CPUs are required, how many processors, how much RAM we require. So these are all things. So we need to sit with the system administrator and we need to define the exact parameters. Okay.
Okay.
Suppose if my application requires more CPUs, then we need to ask them to add more CPUs so that we can improve the performance of the application. Even RAM also. If SGA require more RAM, so then we need to ask them to add. So these 4 persons are very important while tuning the database and to improve the performance of the application.
Application, yes.
Yeah. So second one is tuning phases. You are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So tuning phases. So there are several tuning phases are available. One is application design and programming. You have to dare normalize the table, and although normalization the redundancy, it will result a high number of joins. Okay. Suppose whenever you are configuring some 2 tables that are required for one requirement. Suppose this month I have a release. Okay. So for this release, I am designing 2 tables where I am going to store order ID information in both the tables. Okay. So
Okay.
whenever you are storing this order information in both the tables, if it is unique, try to maintain some relationship between the two tables.
Oh, we are talking foreign relationship.
Yeah, foreign key relationship. Okay, so that whenever they are adding one column in the parent table, then it will definitely ask to add in the child table also.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That is the clauses which we can add while designing the application, like while designing the tables and all. Okay, adding new application to the existing database. Okay. So whenever you are adding new app, so we need to check the workload. Suppose there are some legacy applications are available in the available for the major application. Okay. So whenever you
Okay.
want to add that legacy application connections and all to the actual application, then we need to check how much load is we are going to get. So how much RAM we require, how much SDA we need to allocate. So all these things we need to check.
Okay.
Sometimes what we will do is people developers, they may come up with some requirements like I want to generate these reports. Okay, big reports. They want to generate the reports. That time what we have to do, instead of running in the database, we can use different data warehousing tools like Informatica. So those tools will help us to generate the reports connect into our database. So that is also one type of application that is fetching the data from our database.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that time we need to check this load and all. So next one is troubleshooting and tuning. Okay. So troubleshooting and tuning is we need to troubleshoot before it is affecting to our database. Okay. Suppose if you identified the top 10 queries or large queries before moving to production release like that. Suppose let us take the example, this month we have a requirement. So before moving the code to the production, what we will do, we will implement the changes in development or QA environments, right?
QA environment. Yes. Yeah.
So if you are able to identify the complex queries or which are like big queries from development environment itself, we can avoid those issues coming in production.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to put our monitoring alerts in development and QA also.
Okay.
Even before designing this table and all, we need to ask them how many transactions that they are going to store in the table per day. Suppose if they are storing in the table, if they are storing more data like 1 billion records per day like that. Suppose if you take any transaction logs.
Okay.
So sometimes the developers, what they will do, they will store the transaction logs coming from application also. So these tables will store only the errors coming from the application.
Oh, okay.
So at the time there will be some million records per day. So more people will use our application and more errors will generate and more million records will be stored in the table. So that time we need to think. So in which table space we need to keep our table. So that consideration also we need to think. So that's why whenever you are creating a table, we need to have a discussion with the developer, and we need to suggest them how many records that are going to store in this table, what is the functionality. Okay, so what is the purge period, like after 6 months do you want to delete this data or not. So what is the retention period. So all these things we need to ask them in the initial stage itself. So this is one of the interview questions. Okay, so on what basis do you create new table? Okay.
Okay.
So whenever they are coming up with new table creation, we need to be ready with more questions.
Yes.
Yeah. So that we
Like
can
that.
avoid issues in production.
Okay. Like data coming. How much data is come like per day or per month? But that
Yeah.
depends on to fix the table space. And
Yeah.
other
Table
one is
space.
what is the way to purge the tables?
Yeah. Retention period, like 6 months. Do you want to keep 6 months data or not?
But are there any jobs, some packages running to purchase data every day, or like something like that, or like they have
Yeah. There are some more packages. PL SQL code is there.
generally like
So
applications, applicate for any application, like they will have their own retention periods, right? They will automatically delete it.
no. That is our administrator task only. They will not delete data from our database. So what they will do, why at the initial stage itself, what they will say like, I don't require the 1 month old data or 6 months old data like that. So what we will do, we have a PL SQL code that is configured in our database server.
Okay.
So that PL SQL code, what it will do, just we need to add some code like um, table name and retention period. Okay.
Okay.
So based on the retention period, it will daily run on. It will run, that shell script will run on daily basis. Okay. So based on
Okay.
that, it will check if any data older than this actual date, then it will delete.
Okay.
So what they will do, system minus 30 they will put that clause they will put.
Yeah.
They will pick up one column from our table.
Yeah, date column, and they will based on that they will
Based
delete
on the
greater
date,
than, yeah.
minus 30. System minus 30 or 60 like that. 2 months, 1 month like that.
Yes.
Yeah, mostly like transaction logs, system minus 30 will be there. So the order ID information which is passing to legacy systems, they will keep like 6 months at least.
Okay.
So sometimes some orders may take 6 months to complete the order and all.
Okay. Yeah.
It depends upon the application. Okay. What are our tuning goals? Okay. So one is response time. So we need to increase our response time. Suppose whenever you are adding a query or any updating a table or any generating a report like that, so the response time for this operation should be more. So
Less, right?
sorry, less. Response time should be less. So as quickly as possible, it needs to give the results.
Okay.
Okay. So while writing the query also we need to think whether this join is proper or not. Okay, so whenever you are writing the joins and all, that should be on primary key mostly. 99% it should be on primary key.
Okay. And
If it is, yeah.
like here, like primary key creates an index here on table.
Yeah. Automatically RKL will create one index.
Yes, because we have the same thing. That's what I'm asking. So like
Yeah.
indexes, types of indexes are there, right?
That yeah, but by default it will create normal index. So if you want to create a bitmap or like that, then you need to create manually. But for primary key, it will be like a normal index only.
Okay.
So as per the query, if you want to add any composite index or any bitmap index like that, then you can add additionally after creating the table and all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is the response time. We need to consider this one and increase the data availability. So we should be in a position to available 100% data availability.
Like rack, right?
Yeah, in rack.
Okay.
So high availability will be there in a rack. So anytime they can access our data. Yeah.
And one more question, like for replication, do we require a rack environment, or we can do it on a normal
No,
standalone?
normal. No, standalone we cannot. If it is a two-node cluster, then you can check like from one node to another node whether RKs are moving or not.
Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do, one is our primary database, one is our standby database. Okay.
Yes.
So in primary, we'll configure our RK location. So from this RK location, it has to move to other standby location.
Okay.
From standby location, it needs to apply the RKs and all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
and increase the memory utilization by reducing the pages swapping that affects the database and OS performance. So memory utilization will affect the instant hit percentages. Okay. So what we have to do while designing the database and all, we need to think of our memory parameters also. So there should not be any there should not be any high IO or any pages, or there should not be any high physical reads. So those things we need to check. Suppose you are creating one table without index, in which the column is mostly used on daily
Okay.
basis. Okay, so then if you are creating the table without index, what it will do? So it will daily it will go on full table scan.
Full table scan, yeah. It will take high CPU usage, yeah, you're right.
So then what we have to do? We need to check the full table scan immediately. Okay. So if a table is then if it is full table scan, then it obviously it will take more than 1 minute or 2 minutes like that based on the data.
Okay.
Okay. So that time we need to think of our index creation or like that. Okay.
Okay.
These things also we need to consider memory parameters, or if you require more SCA require. Suppose so one issue we used to get in our one of the QA environment. So what we have done is long back they created some database in QA. Okay, in one server there are some 8 databases are there. So on daily basis, from one database we used to get like shared pool memory is not sufficient like that. So when we check in Oracle support URL and all, what they say is we can flush the share pool also. So share pool will store some information, right, in the buffer. So what we can do, we can flush the share pool. So my DBA, he used to flush the database when he's getting a daily basis, that alert.
Okay.
Okay, instead of checking the memory parameters and all. So instead of flushing, he can increase the shared pool, SGA and all.
Yeah, he can decrease, right? Because that is not sufficient.
Yeah, shared pool is not sufficient. He has to increase the shared pool size.
Yeah, like he has to add the, okay, you're right. He has to add the, okay. Like,
so then while adding the shared pool size, he need to check the SGA also. So if you based on the SGA also, we need to check. So after 20 or 30 days, so we are verifying his emails. So daily he is sending, I am flushing the shared pool like that. So later on we identified and while flushing this one on daily basis, why don't we increase our? There are more questions came into the picture that time. So some people they suggested like instead of increasing SCA, we can write one job which can flush shared pool daily around 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock like that. One suggestion, one person gave. So that is also a good idea. Why instead of wasting our RAM, we can flush the shared pool, even though it is PA.
Okay.
So some people suggested like, why don't we increase our RAM and why don't we increase our SC and all. So there is no sufficient RAM. So then we need to check with our system administrator to add RAM to that server.
Okay.
So one like in DBA part, we can do our work as a DBA. We can do our work, but how we can perform more efficiently. So that is very important. So anyone can troubleshoot the issues by reading the docs and all, by googling the issues, errors and all. So we need to fix that issue permanently. Okay.
Okay.
So that one we need to. And this is about tuning goals. So these are the major tuning goals that are involved in our performance tuning. Okay.
Okay.
So what are our common problems? Okay. So these are the common problems which we face in our database: bad session management, bad cursor management, bad relational design. Okay. So bad session management is nothing but Suppose one person needs a dedicated server environment, but you are providing shared server environment. So that is also one of the issue. If he needs a shared server, if you are providing dedicated, so that is also one issue. So one user is using more complex queries containing more joins and sort operations. See, if he is using queries which contains more joins, so instead of if he is using more joins and starting is nothing but if he is putting order by operations like DESC like that. So by default it is ascending order, right? If you put DESC also, sometimes the performance will impact.
Okay.
So that's why these queries we need to check on daily basis. Bad cursor management caused often by programming error. So how I am going to put my result set in my user process and too many cursors. So whether you are allowing too many cursors or like that. Even sometimes it will impact in cursors will impact in PL SQL code also.
Yes, cursor it will go to every line, right? And check it out.
Right. Yeah.
So it will obviously have use more IO than anything.
Yeah. So suppose you are writing the query. So everything you are putting your result in like in the queries. Suppose if you observe that Oracle SQL queries, some of the queries will be like :3 like that, like this,
Okay.
:3, :4 like this. So these are nothing but bind variables which we are passing from the application. Okay.
Oh, can you give me an example like a column thing,
Yeah.
how it is?
Yeah, let me select star from EMP there. EMP underscore number auto :3, okay, and DEPT equal to 20. Okay, so in this query will be in our Java code. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
And
yeah.
and the column 3 like it's a value which is passed from application. That's what it is. Like.
Yeah, application. Yeah, from the front end, in any of the checkbox or any of the box, they are entering this value to retrieve that employee information.
Okay.
So that value we are getting this one. But what about departments? So we are fixing this value, right? This is the constant value. So instead of putting this constant value, why don't we pass this value also from the application or any of the Java code? Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. For example, like if the application pass, check the generally application what it will do, it will go to the shared pool, right? And pick up the if it is already executed, it will pick up the query, and there is no query. What is it called?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
yeah.
So that's why.
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So we need to check on bind variables also.
Okay.
And bad relational design. Suppose if there are two tables, if the relationship is not good, like if join condition is not proper, okay, so that time also it will impact the performance.
Okay.
So one example I used to give, like whenever I get any requirement, like for one release, if I get so one query that I need to prepare, okay. So in the release they will explain, like on business level they will use to give the details and all. So this is my requirement and all. So what I will do, first I will write my query with my own thoughts. Then I will go to the developer, okay. I will sit with him and I will check with him whether it is meeting his requirements or not.
Okay.
So if any changes require, we used to implement in the queries, like where conditions or any table needs to be added in the join or like that.
Okay.
So if any user information if they require, so based on the discussion with the developer, I will prepare a query. Then what I will do, now the requirement is finalized, right? So
Yeah.
how much output I need to get, how many records that I need to get based on the condition, I am fine. It is finalized. So then I will come back and I will sit on the query to improve the performance of the query, like any full table scans or indexes are proper or not. So how much time it is taking. So on each for each join, how many records it is generating. So those things I need to check and I need to improve the performance of the query.
Okay.
Yeah, this process we used to follow. So what are the tuning steps for development? Okay. So first one is tune the design. Design we need to tune and tune the application, tune the memory, and tune the input output, tune the contention, and tune the OS. So these are also involved in development.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll see in the demo class what we'll do. We'll generate. We'll take one query and we'll try to generate the explain plan report for the query. And
Okay.
we'll how we can tune the query also.
Okay.
So this one what we discussed before writing any changes are like that. So tuning steps for production. So before tuning the query, these are the steps. What define the problem first. So what is your exact problem? Okay. Examine the host system and Oracle statistics. So first one is you need to check on the server. So whether the server is good or not. Okay. So sometimes they used to generate some reports at OS level also. So IBM team or like that. So they used to generate some statistics reports in OS level.
Okay.
So from that, from the system level, OS level.
Okay.
Okay. From OS level, we may check like how much, whether it is properly using CPU or not, whether it is reaching 90% or like that. So those things we need to check. Okay. Next, we need to come to our Oracle database, Oracle server. Like from Oracle server, our database is there. Our database statistics, so we need to collect. Okay.
Okay.
Statistics, we will generate AWR report. You examine all the changes that are recorded. So AWR is nothing but automatic workload repository report.
Okay. Can you show me that? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I will show you. I will show you how to generate this one also.
Okay.
Workload repository. And consider the common performance errors. So if any common performance error which we will record earlier, so we need to check that errors also and build the conceptual model. So we need to check the data model for the database also and implement and measure the changes. So whatever the changes that are moving, so we need to implement before in the development and RPA. Then we need to check whether it is impacting application or not.
Okay.
So check the bottleneck has been resolved or not. So table level we need to check this one bottleneck. Okay.
Okay.
So define the problem. So what is meant by define the problem? So define problem, collecting the problem details from the user and try to find out the actual information from the problem and monthly report. Okay. So and add it to run within 8 minutes. And for the past 2 months it takes 2 hours. Okay. Suppose whenever there is a report kind of thing in the older days, if it is taking 2 hours, so we need to minimize to work in the very less response time. Okay, that one we need to define. We need to examine the problem and all. We need to resolve that problem. Okay.
Okay.
Examine the statistics. So we need to correct all the OS statistics and the database statistics, and we need to check all the statistics and we need to resolve. And common errors from your collected statistics. From the statistics, so how previously the statistics are, and now what are the new statistics. we need to compare those statistics and we need to examine the problem. Okay. So build the model to solve the problem. Whether any performance degraded or if any by comparing the database DB model also we can compare this one. Okay. So what are the changes to the production? If there are any column changes or like something like. Sometimes what error people used to do is what mistake they used to do is so they will declare our column as number. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Or number from the application what they will do they will treat that one as a varchar. So that time what will happen is whenever you create whenever you are creating index also that will not use that index. Okay, so that will not use index, so but it will take more time. So then that time we need to check this one. It is varchar data. It is number data type. You need to use numbers in this one.
And one more thing, like how to run the trace, like if you want to run it, like, for example, some application point is taking application is taking long time. So what in SQL what you do, you will run a profiler. And user will use input from the application, will run profiler at that point of time, and will capture the base, and will analyze the base.
Okay.
Like, how to? I think there is some way, right, to run the trace on the machine, like what data is coming, what the queries are running currently on the database.
Yeah. First one is AWR is there. We have in Oracle first check is AWR report we need to generate for that time period, 1 hour or 2 hours like that. Okay.
It will have the queries in the run as well, like.
Queries also, everything. Yeah, everything, all the database statistics.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the database statistics will be there. Let me check whether I have it on handy or not. Actually, I don't have it on handy. I will show you in the next demo class.
So that is fine,
what we'll do, we'll generate that report. Actually, so we'll generate the report and we'll analyze that report.
Okay, for the time period.
Yeah, for that time period, 1 hour or 2 hours like that.
Okay, yeah, that is the same like trace thing, right? That is the same trace actually.
No, trace is different in Oracle. AWR is for 2 hours time period, and auto trace is on like that we have on concept. So that is for query. Suppose you from the AWR you are picking one query which is taking a long time, okay, which is coming top 10, which is coming in top 10 in based on the elapsed time. So from that you pick up the query from the AWR report and you need to generate the trace file for that query.
Okay,
in the trace it will give the statistics. So in that query which table is taking long time or which table is going full table scan. So how it is using indexes and all.
Okay. Maybe just show me that one, like how to trace and AWS. So just give me an example, like take one table and just run some queries and we will generate AWD report and this trace as well, both.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Mostly tomorrow we'll have a demo class. In the demo class we'll practice all those things what we discussed now.
Okay.
So common errors collected from our collected statistics. Okay. So we need to collect the statistics and we need to examine the statistics by comparing the previous statistics also. So from that difference, so we can able to identify the errors and build a model to solve the problem. Okay. These things also we need to check and implement the change. Then we need to implement the change. So make the determined change and implement only one change at a time, because many changes can confuse it and affect the changes in the database. Okay. So we need to define it while implementing the changes and then based on the flow, we need to apply the changes one by one. So in our environment, what we used to do is we have some replication process moving from one data center to other data center. Okay.
Okay.
So that time, what we will do, we'll ask users whether you want to replicate this table right away or not. So whether we need to add this table in the replication or not.
Okay.
So sometimes some tables they don't want replication because they don't use that tables from the application end. So from the client only they will use these tables. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So only particular data center they will connect and they will fetch the data from the table. So no need to replicate to other data centers.
Okay. Okay. That means like only few central tables can be replicated.
Yeah. If they want us to add, then we'll add that table in the replication configuration.
Okay. Yeah. That is good.
What type of replication do you people have?
We have like a snapshot.
Okay.
For example, a snapshot means like if it is a daily basis. You just create a snapshot. You can wait for 24 hours.
Okay.
Data. That can be create a snapshot.
Okay.
Every time we'll have a snapshot. We get a fresh data every time, every 24 hours.
Okay.
And with transactional replication. Transactional means like it is right live. The replicated one also be live.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it is very immediate. So yeah. And then one is we have peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer is like example is like we have different shops, like we have 10 shops, and we have centralized data center. Okay, and whenever people purchase an item on one shop, it will appear in the data center, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And then immediately the data center will send the details to the other service as well.
Okay.
It's like to and fro. Transaction is one way, but peer-to-peer is to and fro. Between a couple of servers, not a single, not too many.
Okay.
So
Two-way replication. You mean
two-way replication? Yeah, between many databases.
Many databases. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. What is that process? Peer-to-peer. Which process they are using? Like Golden Gate.
So we have SQL all.
Oh, SQL. Okay. Fine.
Everything is like we have a SQL. We have
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
And we have one more thing called as log shipping. That is also almost like replication, but the thing is we'll only ship the logs.
Okay.
Transaction logs we will apply it to other database, like whatever you said. That is log shipping. And we have many things actually. We have mirroring, one more process is there.
Yeah.
That is also the same copy, the same thing like that. But each one has a different advantages, each one has different disadvantages.
Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. And we have like one replication process, Golden Gate we have, and the second one is Shapelex.
Yes, and for the Oracle replication, you guys need a rack, right?
No, not only like in a standalone also we can put replication. Between production to other database.
Okay.
So sometimes what people will require is whatever the changes that are implemented in production today, they want those changes to be moved to QA also.
Yes, yeah.
So for that scenarios, so we'll replicate the tables from production to QA.
Okay.
Yeah. And so after implementing the changes, check whether the problem is solved or not. So we need to check again. We need to collect our statistics, and we need to compare the statistics also. Okay, by comparing that, we can able to finalize whether this issue is fixed or not. So mostly in the interviews, performance-wise, performance tuning, what they will do is they will just ask a simple question like how you will improve the performance of the application, or how you will identify the performance of the query, or how can you tune the query. Simple they'll ask, but we need to give like more information, how we are tuning, whether we are coordinating with developers or not, so whether it is meeting our requirements or not. So those inputs we need to give while answering the questions.
Okay.
So, and also in performance tuning, suppose you fix through one query with adding index or changing some parameters like that. Okay. So
Okay.
next time that like same scenario will not come next time. So next time will different scenarios. So it's like a ocean, like performance tuning is a ocean. So while reading books or while implementing the changes and all, then only you can able to figure out the issues and all.
Okay.
Yeah. So next one is database server tuning. So in database server level, what tuning mechanisms we have? So one is alert log file and trace files. Okay. So we need to check the alert log file on daily basis. Suppose if any errors are there, for that error, the trace files will generate, right?
Yes, yes.
So from the trace files, any clue that we are getting or any parameters that we need to change in the P file or not, those things we need to check this one. Okay. Check the
Okay.
P file and all. Okay. Check memory, input, output, CPU usage. Okay. Check whether the SQL statements are highly consuming CPU or not. Okay.
Okay.
Tuning response. The tuning response, so we will try to minimize the tuning response. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And factors that affect the performance. So multiple control files, so multiple reader logs in a group. Suppose whenever you are storing the reader logs or control files, so try to store in different location while multiplexing. Okay, so multiplexing is the concept. Why we are giving multiplexing is, why we are using multiplexing is, suppose if any one of the control file is missed, we can able to recover with the other control file.
Okay. So we need to put the control file in a different location? Okay.
Different location. Yeah, yeah. One is in one location and another one is another disk group.
Okay.
Yeah. So and also if you have more control files, then we need to check. At least 2 or 3 is fine. Okay. So multiple reader log members in a group. If you are adding more reader log members in a group, that will also affect the performance. And frequent checkpoint, you need to check this one. Okay. And when you take the backup of the data files, checkpoint will need to occur, archive read logs and block check numbers. So number of concurrent users and transactions. So this is also one of the parameters which we will check on daily basis. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll on daily basis, suppose how many users are connecting, so how many concurrent sessions are that are running and all. So we need to check that. Suppose if any one of the session which is running more than 2 hours or 3 hours, we need to get alert.
Okay.
Okay. So from that, what we can do is we can check that user session and we can figure out the issues. And also we need to check whether there is whether the transaction is making any locks or not.
Yeah. Deadlocks.
Yeah,
Deadlocks
deadlocks.
are
Yeah, deadlocks.
blocking.
Yeah.
Blocking
Yeah.
also. Right? So that is tabling video section, right? Video session.
Yeah, VDLR session. There will be a one column like blocking underscore session.
Okay.
We need to write the query like this. Select
Testing blocking sessions.
session from GVDollar session. If it is right, GVDollar session. Okay, then it will give only distinct blocking sessions. Okay, how many sessions are having blocking sessions?
Okay.
So if you get blocking sessions, do not go and fill the blocking sessions. First we need to analyze that issue. So from where it is getting, from JDBC or from users or manual connection. So those things we need to check. And which query is blocking our sessions. So we need to identify the query. If you are able to identify the query, then we can go and check in the code. So mostly developers, they will write the code and they will update the statements, but they will not commit the transactions immediately.
Okay.
So then the session will be like that only. It will ask for commit. So, but developer in the code, he is not coming giving the commit. So that time it will wait for commit statement. If some other person, if he files the same query or if he files the same operations and all, then it will go for locking. Deadlock will occur.
But generally on production developers, like generally they not do anything, right?
Yeah. But while updating orders are like that, they will do, right? I mean in the application end.
In application, yeah, they will do, but an application, the application code will be written in the same way, right?
Yeah,
Commit a
same way.
transaction immediately. Yeah.
No. Sometimes they will forget. They will put the commit at the end of the all the transactions. So we face several issues like this. What they will do, they will take one loop. So in the loop, there are several queries. One is update, again insert, and another is like select query. So after that, they are counting the transactions. Okay. If two users performing the same operations at a time from the front end, so then update will ask for wait.
Yes. Yeah.
So then we will get blocking sessions. And sometimes that is one scenario to get blocking sessions. And other scenario is like we are giving access to our developers through client. Suppose from SQL developer at code, you are connecting to our database.
Okay.
So he executed insert statement. He forgot to commit the transaction and he went home. Okay. So, okay. So other person he is filing the same statement or he is updating the same record from other SQL developer at code session. So then only we will get blocking sessions. If it is manual connection, then we can kill that session without intimating.
Okay.
Okay. So from VDALA session, we can get all the changes like who is connecting to our database, who is in that session. Okay. So what is his machine details and all. So
Yes.
we have it like with machine name, we can able to identify the person detail.
Yes. But like see, but for example, if they don't commit, let's say they don't commit, but they can close the code or whatever they may be, they can close, right? Or the
Yeah,
transaction will continue in the server.
Yeah. Sometimes in Toad we have operation while closing whether it is auto commit or you don't want to auto commit.
Yeah, that is okay. I got it, but for example, if we intimate that user also, he cannot open the same what do we call it as same session, right? He cannot open the same session, right?
He is performing operations on same row. Whether he is using the same ID, same table, whatever he is updating.
Okay.
Suppose on employee 20, employee number 1123, okay. You updated employee 23 to 24. Okay.
24, yeah. Yes.
1124. But you forgot to commit and you went home.
Okay.
Okay. Some other person he is coming and he is trying to implement like update 232. What he will see? He will see 23 only, right?
He is trying to update to 24.
Yeah. So he is trying to update from 23 to 23 or 24. Okay.
Okay.
So then it will ask for commit. For the previous session has to commit, right?
Yes.
So then it will go for logging.
Okay.
He didn't get any error. His session will goes on running.
Okay.
After maybe 1 hour or like that, within this 1 hour, what we'll get blocking sessions.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get alerts in emails or like that. So blocking session email like that.
Okay.
So that is also one chance to get the blocking sessions.
Okay.
So whatever the operation that we discussed now, we'll see all these things in tomorrow's demo class.
Okay, yeah.
How to generate the statistics, how to generate AWRs, ADDM reports. There are several reports, AWR reports and that.
Okay.
We'll generate one by one and we'll discuss that.
Okay. Yeah.
For today's class. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Anil. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.